to We Talk Tech, our weekly take on tech news. Considering this is our first episode, allow us to introduce ourselves. Please mind the audio quality. After all, we are poor and on limited bandwidth, thus we are on the phone. I'm John Black.
I'm Elizabeth Detson.
And I'm Christian Cabrera.
We're the Geeks That Are Eyes Cool, and in an attempt to give us something to do on Friday nights, we're doing this podcast. And this week in tech, the iPad has landed. We will discuss the hardware specifics and speculate who will buy this.
Also, we will discuss the Macmillan Books and Amazon scandal.
And this week, or at least on Monday, 2 new games are coming out, BioShock 2 and Dark Void, and we will get into that later.
Excellent. And the MaxiPad has landed. Lizard, since you were supposed to say that, would you like to give us your thoughts about the iPad, or as you like affectionately call it, the MaxiPad?
Well, the iMaxiPad does seem very intriguing. It's very pretty. I just could not see a use for it for me. Or
I just think the guy could afford it.
A very small percentages would be able to use this efficiently. I
see. Well, let's discuss hardware specifics. It is a 9.5 by 7.5 LCD with IPS technology. That's great for viewing angles, although I don't know about the power consumption. Apple claims it has a 10-hour battery life. It comes in 3 models, light days, normal, and heavy flow, $499, $599, and $699 respectively, at $130 for a 3G radio provided through AT&T.
Which surprisingly works here.
I know, yeah. It's really weird. So keep in mind, when we might talk about affectionately about AT&T, but that's because it works here, and none of the CDMA carriers work that well here. Maybe just, it could be the geography, it could be we're in desolate and rural America, and this used to be Southwestern Bell, but we don't know.
It could be global warming.
Always.
It's always global warming.
Always is.
Yes.
There's a few drawbacks. People are concerned about Flash. We'll get into that later. No Flash. It is only through AT&T, and even though it's contract-free and unlocked, so theoretically you could use it in other international carriers because AT&T is the only one on the 1900 megahertz spectrum. They use a micro SIM card, which the only product out right now that uses a micro SIM card is a little watch that you can track the location of your toddler in. So I guess you could use that SIM card if you have that watch, but
yeah, but this is only for the hardcore iPod fans. I mean, the lowest model is $500, and that's for the wuss version.
That's for the Wi-Fi version with only 16 gigabytes of storage. But I think that'll be the most selling because people don't have money.
I don't have that much money to buy that. I mean, I already have my PSP and my computer, and I think that's enough for me.
I understand. And Lizard, she has a 3-year-old iPod. She has a flip phone cell phone, and she has whatever computer she finds on her desk every day.
And an NES.
Oh, let's not forget that I stepped on and kind of broke. So that's Lizard's technology. But let's talk about the hardware limitations. As I mentioned, Flash. Some people complain about the 16:9 ratio. There isn't one, so widescreen movies aren't really widescreen. But I kind of wouldn't want.
And what are we going to call them if they're not widescreen?
Well, they're like a old box TV set. You're only getting to watch the 4:3.
Nostalgic.
You only get a 4:3 ratio.
That's not good.
Well, I mean, if it was a 5:3, it'd be a really long rectangle, and it'd be really awkward to hold when you were using it vertically. So I understand. I mean, I'm not a big movie watcher anyway, so that doesn't affect me. But I understand some people that want this hardcore experience. Other limitations are, that micro SIM card. If you want to use it on another carrier or most carriers internationally, you're going to have to take a SIM card and carve with a knife the extra plastic off, so it would then be a micro SIM card.
Can you actually do that?
That's what you have to do if you get if you try to use it on another carrier, that not AT&T, international or not. You'd have to take their standard SIM card and cut off the extra plastic, so it would then be a micro SIM card. Of course, it comes with a micro SIM card, but that's how they're locking it down.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Of course, Apple locks everything down. But can either of you think of any use for this before I start being an Apple fanboy and naming some?
The only thing that I think will be a problem is the keyboard, because, I have problems with touchscreen keyboards as it is, because, I'm used to buttons. But, how do you use it? I mean, is it just like a one-hander, or, what?
Well, you hold it with one or two hands. I'm sorry for breathing through the phone right there. You would hold it with two hands and one hand control it with the other. It does come with a dock. So if you're on location, per se, you could dock this, and it has a keyboard connected to the dock, or you could use a Bluetooth keyboard. Otherwise, you would use the capacitive virtual keyboard, which, if you have ever used an iPhone, you would know they are the most responsive virtual keyboards, although it is still a virtual keyboard, which means it is still sucky. But this, let's keep in mind, this is mainly a content consumption device, not a content creation device.
Well, yeah, but it's supposed to be used for on the go. I mean, that's what it's been, showed off as. And
I understand.
These accessories like the dock and all this other stuff. I mean, what's the point if there's already a keyboard on there? Are they trying to say that it's not as good, or what?
Well, I don't know how. Well, it comes with word processing. You can buy Apple's pretty decent word processing programs to run on it for $10. I think this is Apple's nod to reality, that's saying you're spending a lot of money. I think they're trying to reach the crowd that doesn't have a lot of money. I'm going to say this. I think they're trying to reach the ones with less money, and they have a desktop computer, and they really wish they had a good netbook laptop. They're saying, look, this is an excellent quality built device. It has a very long battery life. You can get a lot of enjoyment out of it, but when you're trying to take it to class, it has a keyboard dock, and it will do all that stuff for you too. I think that was their nod to reality. And AT&T.
There's just two problems with that. I mean, you can't take one of these things into your classroom.
If you're in college.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm speaking of college people and mobile professionals. Think about how great this would be for businessmen that have to make presentations. It does have video out. You can hook this up to a projector television screen. This would be excellent for a PowerPoint device on the go. I mean, I'm just naming some features here. I think this is really weird from Apple because this is one of the very few devices that they have told you, not told you.
Now, this has iWork, right?
Yes,
iWork.
That is Apple's word processing program. Also, I think the applications in the App Store will define it more than they have the iPod Touch or the iPhone. For instance, Sling Player, if you know what a Sling Box is, that is a device you hook up to your TV. It streams what's ever playing on your TV up to the Internet on Sling servers, and you can, from another computer or phone, watch that on the go. You can watch your TV anywhere. AT&T has officially allowed that to happen. They blocked it for the first year, but now they're saying, okay, you can watch Sling Player on the go now. So, watch your television at home while you're out, or work on your iWork, or other things such as, it has a pretty fast processor. We'll get to that later. Good gaming device.
All right, I have two more questions though. Okay, the first one is, since I use Microsoft stuff and I'm with Windows, can I be able to plug this into my computer and use it the way I think they meant for it to use?
Yeah, things with iTunes. Although they would, of course, prefer you to use a Mac, but it just works with iTunes.
So it still will work on my computer?
Of course. They figured out that trying to limit their other devices to sell Macs is not their business. They figured that in about 2004. That's why they dropped the computers out of their company name. It's now just Apple Incorporated. They realized their main business. They realized that long ago selling Macs was not their main priority. It was iPods and later on tablets and phones. Good thing is, I think the New York Times application demonstrated digital journalism and the capabilities it has.
Yeah, that sounds cool and everything.
That was pretty good.
I only read the newspaper for the funnies.